The morning air was cool when Adam stopped his bike near the police auction yard. The large metal gate stood open, and inside were many cars parked in long lines. Some were dusty, some had broken mirrors, and others looked like they had not moved in years. The place felt quiet, almost forgotten, like time slowed down inside the yard. Adam removed his helmet and looked around. He had never been to a police auction before. He only came because his old car had finally stopped working. Fixing it would cost more than it was worth. Buying a new car was not possible for him. His job at the repair shop paid enough to survive, not enough to dream. Adam worked with machines every day. He understood engines and wires better than people. He lived alone in a small apartment and kept his life simple. He did not complain much. He believed hard work would eventually bring better days. The auction yard was already filling with people. Some looked confident, others excited. A few were talking loudly, making deals before the auction even started. Adam stayed quiet. He held the paper list of cars and slowly walked between the rows. Many cars were in bad shape. Some had missing parts. Some had signs of old damage. Adam shook his head at most of them. Then he reached a dark blue sedan parked near the back. The car did not look perfect, but it looked cared for. The paint was scratched in places, but the body was straight. The windows were clean. The tires still had good tread. Adam leaned closer and looked inside. The seats were clean. The dashboard was not cracked. The steering wheel showed normal use, nothing more. It felt strange. Cars at police auctions usually looked rough inside. Adam checked the number on the windshield. 43. He looked at the price listed. It was much lower than expected. That made him uneasy. He stepped back and noticed a police officer standing nearby. The officer looked bored, watching people walk past. Adam cleared his throat. "Excuse me," he said politely. "Can you tell me something about this car?" The officer looked at him, then at the car. "Unclaimed vehicle," he replied. "No owner came forward. All cleared for auction." Adam nodded, but the answer felt too short. He wanted to ask more, but something told him not to push. The auction began soon after. People gathered near the front. Numbers were called one by one. Cars were sold quickly. Some went for higher prices than Adam expected. When car number 43 was announced, the crowd went quiet. No one raised a hand. Adam felt his chest tighten. He waited a moment, then raised his paddle. "Any other bids?" the auctioneer asked. Silence. "Sold." Adam blinked. Just like that, the car was his. After finishing the paperwork, Adam received the keys. They felt cold and heavy in his hand. He walked back to the car, unlocked it, and sat inside. The engine started smoothly. No strange sounds. No warning lights. Adam smiled slightly. This alone felt like a small victory. He drove out of the yard and onto the road. The sky was cloudy, but the rain had stopped. As he drove, Adam felt a sense of relief. Maybe this car would give him a fresh start. When he reached his apartment building, he parked in his usual spot. He turned off the engine and opened the driver door. Click. Adam paused. He opened and closed the door again. Click. The sound did not come from the hinge. It came from inside the door. Adam frowned. He placed his hand on the door panel and pressed lightly. The sound changed. Something was loose inside. His curiosity woke up. Adam went upstairs and grabbed his toolbox. Back in the parking lot, he carefully removed the screws from the inside of the driver door. The panel came off easily. Behind it, taped tightly to the metal frame, was a small brown envelope. Adam froze. An envelope hidden inside a car door made no sense. He carefully pulled it free. The tape was old. The envelope was thick. He looked around the parking lot. No one was nearby. Adam opened it slowly. Inside were folded papers and a small metal key. The papers looked official. Old police reports. Photographs. Dates written by hand. Adam's heart began to race as he read the first page. The report described a missing person case. The name was Leo. Leo had been reported missing years ago. According to the file, he was last seen driving this exact blue sedan. The case had been closed due to lack of evidence. Adam felt his stomach tighten. Why were these documents hidden in the door? Why was there a key? Adam flipped through the pages. One photo showed Leo standing next to the car, smiling. Another page mentioned strange details that did not seem fully explained. This was not normal. Adam folded the papers back and placed them inside the envelope. He locked the car and rushed upstairs. His hands were shaking. That night, Adam barely slept. His mind kept returning to the name Leo. He wondered what had happened to him. He wondered who hid the envelope. He wondered why the car ended up at auction. In the early morning, Adam stood by his window and looked down at the blue sedan. It sat quietly, as if nothing had happened. Adam knew one thing for sure. Buying this car was not an accident. And whatever was hidden inside, it was only the beginning. Adam woke up early, even though he barely slept. The morning light entered his small apartment, but his mind felt heavy. The envelope lay on the table where he had placed it the night before. He had not opened it again after reading the papers. Just looking at it made his chest feel tight. He made a cup of tea and sat down, staring at the brown envelope. The name Leo stayed in his thoughts like a quiet voice that refused to leave. Adam finally reached out and opened the envelope again. He spread the papers on the table carefully. The documents looked official. There were stamps, dates, and signatures. One report mentioned that Leo worked as a delivery driver. Another page showed a list of phone calls made on the day he disappeared. The final report said the case was closed because there were no leads. Adam shook his head. Something felt missing. He picked up the small metal key. It was old and scratched, but well kept. It did not look like a house key. It was too small for a car key. Adam turned it in his fingers and wondered what it opened. After a moment of thought, Adam grabbed his jacket and keys. He decided to search the car more carefully. If someone hid these papers inside the door, there might be more hidden elsewhere. Outside, the blue sedan looked the same as before. Calm. Silent. Adam unlocked it and opened the trunk first. Inside, there was only a spare tire and a small toolkit. Nothing unusual. He checked under the seats. Nothing. He checked the glove box. Old manuals and some dust. Adam then remembered the key. He looked around the car slowly. His eyes stopped on a small locked compartment beneath the driver's seat. It was almost invisible unless someone knew where to look. Adam's heart began to beat faster. He knelt down and placed the key into the lock. It turned easily. Inside the compartment was a small black pouch. Adam removed it carefully and opened it. Inside was a small notebook and a flash drive. Adam sat back against the car door, breathing slowly. This was too much to be coincidence. He took the items upstairs and placed them on the table next to the envelope. He opened the notebook first. The handwriting was neat but tense. The first page had a date from several years ago. The writing spoke of being watched. Leo had written about strange cars following him and phone calls that ended in silence. Adam read page after page. Leo believed he had seen something he was not meant to see. He mentioned delivering a package to an old warehouse late one night. He wrote that after that delivery, his life changed. Adam felt a chill. The notebook ended suddenly. The last page had only one sentence. If anything happens to me, the truth is not gone. Adam leaned back in his chair. His hands felt cold. He then picked up the flash drive. Adam owned a small laptop, old but working. He plugged the flash drive in and waited. A folder appeared on the screen. Inside were photos and video clips. The photos showed the same warehouse Leo mentioned. Some photos showed cars parked outside late at night. Others showed men standing near the entrance. Their faces were unclear, but their actions looked secretive. One video clip showed Leo filming from inside his car. His breathing was heavy. The video ended suddenly, as if he had dropped the camera. Adam closed the laptop slowly. This was bigger than he expected. Adam knew he should go to the police. That was the right thing to do. But fear stopped him. The documents were police reports. The case was already closed. What if the same people who closed the case were involved in hiding the truth? He needed advice. Adam thought of Ben. Ben was an old friend from the repair shop. He had left the job years ago and now worked as a private investigator. Ben was quiet, careful, and trusted facts more than feelings. Adam called him. They met later that day at a small cafe. Ben listened carefully as Adam explained everything. He did not interrupt. He only asked questions after Adam finished. "This is serious," Ben said calmly. "You did the right thing by coming to me." "What should I do?" Adam asked. Ben leaned forward. "We move slowly. We check the warehouse. We do not rush to the police yet." Adam hesitated. "Is that safe?" Ben nodded. "We observe only. No contact." That evening, they drove to the location mentioned in the notebook. The warehouse stood on the edge of town, surrounded by empty lots. It looked abandoned, but the lights inside told a different story. They parked far away and watched. A black van arrived. Two men stepped out and entered the building. They stayed inside for a long time. Adam felt his stomach tighten. Ben took photos quietly. "Someone is still using this place," he said. Suddenly, a light turned on near their car. Adam froze. Someone was walking toward them. "Start the engine," Ben whispered. Adam did not hesitate. He started the car and drove away calmly, pretending nothing was wrong. They did not speak until they were far from the warehouse. "They saw us," Adam said. "Maybe," Ben replied. "Or maybe not. But now we know one thing." "What?" Adam asked. Ben looked at him seriously. Leo was right. This did not end with him. That night, Adam returned home feeling watched. Every sound made him alert. He locked his doors and windows carefully. As he lay in bed, one thought stayed in his mind. Finding the envelope was not an accident. Someone wanted the truth hidden. And now Adam was standing in its path. Adam did not sleep well that night. Every sound from outside made him open his eyes. A passing car, a dog barking far away, even the wind moving through the trees felt louder than usual. His mind kept returning to the warehouse and the men who entered it. The memory of the light turning on near their car stayed sharp in his thoughts. When morning came, Adam felt tired but alert. He stood by the window and looked down at the blue sedan. It sat in the same place, quiet and still. Nothing looked different, yet everything felt changed. Adam called Ben early. Ben answered quickly. "We need to talk," Adam said. "I was thinking the same," Ben replied. "Meet me at my office." Ben's office was small and hidden above a closed bookstore. Inside, the walls were covered with maps, notes, and old case files. Ben closed the door behind Adam and locked it. "First rule," Ben said calmly. "We do not panic. Second rule. We do not trust anyone yet." Adam nodded. Ben placed the notebook and flash drive on the desk. "I went through the files again last night," he said. Leo was careful. He did not write everything clearly, but there are patterns. Ben pointed to a map on the wall. "The warehouse is one location. There are two more places mentioned in the files. An old parking structure and a storage yard near the river." Adam frowned. Why would one person be followed to so many places? Ben looked at him. Because what he saw was important. They decided to split the work. Ben would look into records connected to the warehouse. Adam would visit the old parking structure mentioned in the notebook. They agreed to stay in contact at all times. The parking structure was on the edge of the city. It was old and mostly empty. Paint peeled from the walls. Lights flickered overhead. Adam parked the blue sedan near the entrance and stepped out. He felt a strange mix of fear and purpose. Part of him wanted to turn back. Another part knew he could not. Adam walked slowly through the structure. He followed the notes from the notebook. Level 3. Corner section. Near a broken camera. The camera was still there, hanging uselessly from the ceiling. Adam searched the area carefully. Behind a concrete pillar, he found faint markings scratched into the wall. They looked like symbols or letters. Not clear enough to read easily. He took photos with his phone. As he turned to leave, he heard footsteps. Adam froze. The sound echoed from the stairwell. Someone was coming up. Adam moved quietly behind a parked car and waited. A man appeared at the top of the stairs. He looked around slowly, scanning the area. He wore simple clothes and kept his hands in his pockets. The man stopped near the scratched markings. Adam's heart began to pound. The man touched the wall, then looked around again. His eyes passed over the cars and shadows. Adam held his breath. After a long moment, the man walked away and disappeared back down the stairs. Adam waited several minutes before moving. His legs felt weak, but his mind was clear. Someone else knew about this place. Adam returned to his car and drove away calmly. He did not rush. He followed normal streets and made sure no one followed him. Back at Ben's office, Adam shared what he found. Ben listened carefully and examined the photos. These markings are codes, Ben said. Not names. Not dates. They are signals. Signals for what? Adam asked. Meetings, Ben replied. Transfers. Messages. Ben then shared his own findings. The warehouse was owned by a company that no longer existed on paper. The names connected to it changed often. Payments were moved through many accounts. This is organized, Ben said. Very organized. Adam leaned back in his chair. Leo saw something during a delivery, he said. Something connected to all of this. Ben nodded. And instead of being protected, he disappeared. Silence filled the room. Later that evening, Adam returned home. As he parked, he noticed something new. A small white mark on his windshield. It looked like chalk. Adam frowned. He checked around the car. Nothing else seemed out of place. Still, his instincts warned him. Inside his apartment, Adam locked the door and sat down. He had just opened his laptop when his phone buzzed. Unknown number. Adam hesitated, then answered. Hello, he said. There was silence on the other end. Then a voice spoke, low and calm. You should stop looking, the voice said. Adam's chest tightened. Who is this? You already know too much, the voice replied. Walk away. Forget the car. Forget the name. The call ended. Adam stared at the phone. His hands shook slightly. Minutes later, Ben called. They contacted you, Ben said before Adam could speak. Yes, Adam replied. How did you know? Because they contacted me too, Ben said. Different number. Same message. That night, Adam did not feel fear the way he expected. Instead, he felt resolve. They are scared, Adam said quietly. If we were wrong, they would ignore us. Ben agreed. We are close. They decided to take one final step. They would gather everything and prepare to bring it into the open. Not quietly. Not alone. Adam looked at the blue sedan one more time before going inside. The car that started as a simple purchase had become something else entirely. It was not just a vehicle. It was a message that refused to stay hidden. And the truth was moving closer to the surface. The next morning arrived with heavy clouds and a tense silence. Adam woke before his alarm and sat on the edge of his bed. The warning call from the night before still echoed in his mind. Someone wanted him to stop. Someone knew he was getting close. Instead of fear, Adam felt focus. He dressed quickly and packed the envelope, the notebook, and a copy of the files onto a small drive. He hid them inside his bag and left his apartment early. The blue sedan waited outside, calm and ordinary, as if it carried no secrets at all. Adam drove carefully to Ben's office. He checked his mirrors often. No one followed him. Ben was already there, standing by the window. "We cannot keep circling," Ben said as Adam entered. "We need proof that cannot be buried." Adam placed the bag on the desk. "We already have proof," he said. "We just need the right place to put it." Ben nodded. "I made some calls last night. Quiet ones." He turned his screen toward Adam. On it was a name of a reporter named Maya. She worked independently and had a history of exposing closed cases that did not make sense. "She listens before she speaks," Ben said. "And she does not scare easily." Adam felt a slight sense of relief. "When can we meet her?" "Today," Ben replied. "But we do it smart." They decided to meet Maya in a public place during daylight hours. A busy library cafe near the city center. Cameras everywhere. People everywhere. Adam arrived first and chose a table near the window. He kept his bag close. Ben arrived a few minutes later. Maya came shortly after. She was calm, observant, and direct. She listened without interrupting as Adam explained everything from the auction to the warehouse to the warning calls. When he finished, Maya leaned back. "You understand what you are stepping into," she said. "Yes," Adam replied. "And I also understand what happens if we do nothing." Maya nodded. "I will need time to verify everything. But this is not nothing." She accepted copies of the files and the notebook. "I will protect my source," she said. "But you must be careful. People who hide this much usually do not like attention." After the meeting, Adam felt lighter and heavier at the same time. The truth was no longer only his responsibility. That night, Ben suggested one final visit. The storage yard near the river mentioned in Leo's notes. They believed it might hold the last missing piece. They arrived after sunset, but before darkness fully settled. The yard was quiet, filled with old containers and rusted fences. A single security light flickered near the entrance. They stayed in the car and observed. After some time, a truck entered the yard. Two men stepped out and opened one of the containers. Inside, they moved boxes marked with codes similar to the wall markings from the parking structure. Ben quietly recorded everything. Suddenly, headlights appeared behind them. Another car entered the yard. Adam's heart tightened. "We need to leave," Ben whispered. Before Adam could start the engine, a voice called out, "Do not move." A man stood near the light, calm and confident. Ben raised his hands slowly. Adam followed. The man approached. He looked at the blue sedan and smiled slightly. "You bought the wrong car," he said. Adam spoke carefully. "It was an auction." The man nodded. "And some things should have stayed lost." Ben stepped forward. "You already lost control when you let the case close unfinished." The man's smile faded. "You think you are heroes." Adam shook his head. "No. We are witnesses." Sirens sounded in the distance. The man's eyes shifted. He stepped back slowly, then turned and disappeared between the containers. Moments later, police cars arrived. Officers secured the area and questioned Adam and Ben. Ben handed over recordings and information calmly. By morning, the storage yard was sealed. News traveled fast. Maya's article went live the next day. It detailed Leo's disappearance, the hidden files, the warehouse, and the illegal transfers. It asked hard questions and named patterns instead of people. The story spread. Authorities reopened the case publicly. New investigators were assigned. The warehouse was searched. The parking structure markings were decoded. Leo's truth was no longer hidden. Adam watched the news quietly from his apartment. The blue sedan sat below, unchanged. Ben called him later. "You did good," he said. Adam looked out the window. "Leo did good," he replied. "He left a path." That night, Adam slept without fear for the first time in days. But he knew one thing. This story was not finished yet. The truth was out. Now it would answer back. Morning light filled Adam's apartment as the city slowly woke up. The news from the night before was still playing softly on his television. Reporters spoke about reopened investigations and sealed locations. They spoke carefully, choosing words that pointed to truth without guessing too much. Adam sat quietly with a cup of tea in his hands. For the first time since buying the car, his chest felt calm. The phone rang. It was Ben. "They found something," Ben said. "Not everything, but enough." Adam closed his eyes for a moment. "About Leo?" "Yes," Ben replied. "And about others who were connected to the same route." Leo was not alone. Later that day, Adam and Ben met near the river storage yard. Police officers moved carefully around the area. Containers were opened. Boxes were examined. Records were checked. Everything was quiet but focused. A senior officer approached Ben and Adam. "You did the right thing," the officer said. "This case should never have been closed the way it was." Adam nodded. He did not feel proud. He felt steady. Before leaving, the officer handed Adam a small envelope. "This was found in one of the containers," he said. "It has Leo's name on it." Adam's hands trembled slightly as he accepted it. At home, Adam opened the envelope slowly. Inside was a folded letter and another key. The handwriting was familiar from the notebook. The letter was short but clear. Leo wrote that he knew the risk he was taking. He wrote that some truths were heavy but necessary. He explained that he hid pieces of evidence in different places, hoping that one day someone honest would find them. He ended the letter by saying that even if he disappeared, the truth would not. Adam sat quietly for a long time after reading it. The second key caught his attention. It looked different from the first. Adam thought carefully, then remembered a detail from the car. Beneath the trunk lining, there was a small locked panel he had never opened. He went downstairs and opened the trunk. He lifted the lining and found the panel. The key fit perfectly. Inside was a sealed plastic case. Adam opened it carefully. Inside were copies of delivery records, dates, and locations. Everything matched what Ben and Maya had already uncovered. This was the final piece. Adam contacted Ben immediately. "This confirms everything," Ben said after reviewing the files. "This protects the case from being buried again." Within days, more reports followed. Officials confirmed wrongdoing in how the case was handled years ago. New teams were assigned. Old decisions were questioned openly. Maya published a follow-up article. This one focused on Leo, on his care, on his choice to protect the truth quietly. The public response was strong and respectful. People began to speak about Leo as a person, not just a name in a file. A week later, Adam stood at a small park bench near the river. Ben stood beside him. The city moved around them, unaware of how close the truth had come to staying hidden. "You could have walked away," Ben said. "Many would have." Adam looked at the water. "I thought about it. But some things do not let you walk away." Ben smiled slightly. "What will you do now?" Adam thought for a moment. "I will keep my life simple. But I will pay attention." Ben nodded. As days passed, Adam returned to his normal routine. Work at the repair shop felt familiar again. Engines made sense. Sounds were predictable. But Adam had changed. One afternoon, a letter arrived at his apartment. It was from a legal office handling reopened cases. They thanked him formally. They asked if he would be willing to testify if needed. Adam agreed. That evening, Adam walked down to the parking lot and looked at the blue sedan. He ran his hand along the door where it all began. The car was no longer a mystery. It was a reminder that truth does not always shout. Sometimes it waits. Adam decided to keep the car, not because it was cheap, not because it ran well, but because it carried a story that refused to disappear. As the sun set, Adam drove through the city streets calmly. Lights reflected on the windshield. The road ahead felt open. Somewhere, Leo's careful planning had worked. Someone listened. Someone acted. And because of that, the truth stood where it belonged. In the open.